And this one is called A Bird Sanitarium. And if you know ornithology, or if you're into birds at all, you'll get some of the play with this. Who said coots are crazy? Is it not crazier to hatch a nut, to make a spoon of bills, to pipe in sand, to have painted your head red, to make a rough star linger, to have a puff to rob a rave in, to find a lover of peas, to be for a fee, to suck sap until your belly yellows, to shear water with a foot of flesh, to skew a polar south, to leach petrol from a storm, or swallow a bank, a cave, a cliff, a barn, or a tree, to see birds humming as they surf on cows, to tattle on a wandering cinnamon teal, to turn elegant and black and royal as a sandwich. Is it not crazier to have bridled a mouse to a tit, to turn a stone black with the wag of a tail, to make wings with cedar wax, to peck the ladder backed with wood, to choose between greater or yet lesser yellow legs, to be bitter in America, to be bunting indigo snow with a bat, to cover your back in canvas and chat with a Mexican chick? Well, I declare. Is it not crazier for a thrasher to turn the trogs on, for the Big Dipper to crow for fish, to pin a tail on a duck or morning on a dove? Is it not crazier to coo at the cook, lewd as a cur, long in the bill but golden-cheeked, now that war's a blur and hooded red-faced hermits cross bills with cranes on a hill of sand? To con the prairie after the fall, to catch flies with a dusky olive-sided Pacific slope, to try to outwit God with a golden eye, or goose the emperor cackling in the snow? Is it not crazier to grackle with a boat on your tail to Iceland, laughing, mewling, gullible, to scrub Florida while smoking a Mexican jay, dark-eyed, strung out like a kite with long spurs, lapping at the land, or go fishing for kings with a belt? Are you not crazier than a common loon to kill a deer for a horny lark with your limp kin? Is it not crazier to make a cracker with nuts, to drink screech with a foul whiskered elf and brown your pelican in a pee-wee bird oven, or to gamble with quail on the Ridgeway rail and run across the road flexing pectoral pipes until spotted surfing on a white-winged scooter? Is it not crazier to stork hearts of stars in your throat, soar above the beardless Tyrulet, while Lucifer hums in your white ear, to drink parasitic Jager bombs with Merlin until magnum pie-eyed starlings wrench free their bushes and tits and brown boobies and run on black-necked stilts to his magic house in the Cactus Canyon? And is it not crazier to will it to be so? To catch flies and gnats and wind up with a gross beak, to snipe at aliens on a wimbrel, to hawk your tri-colored heron eBay, to play solitaire with a long-toed stint only to sing swift vespers with the mighty sparrow and travel to Turkey with a hepatic tanager, blessed by a bishop, bruised black and blue, mocking a bird whose fantasy mutates, to chat with a cardinal who richly knew the best of the rest of the birds that flew was the curlew. Okay, that one's for the birds, I think what I'll do is I'll play you a piece and I'll be accompanied by Singling, the program that we use to turn music or words into sound. And this one is a poem called Miracle is a Beach. And Miracle Beach is a beach on the island of Vancouver Island. And it's an amazing place because when the tide goes in, the beach disappears in about 5 minutes. And when it goes out, this huge beach shows up almost instantly. And so this will be an accompanied poem called Miracle is a Beach. Miracle is a beach I sat down on a day as literal and ordinary as air, and the gods mingled and gossiped, and everything had innate intelligence passing through the life force like neutrinos to share a joy of becoming infinite. Every grain of sand was a palace, and the beach a rolling ocean of newborn atoms laughing thunderously like little cartoon vampires. Ah, 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 ah. The sea also sighing after every bite of land, a grand sheesh from its gaping maw, powerful tidal molars grinding and spitting up the empty shells of our infant consciousness, going gaga, basking in holy glare, cockeyed chattering squirrels syncopated with bumbling bee flight and magic lizard tricks. The mental curtain rises, it's trans-dimensional showtime, featuring a pantomime of tree leaves and the shadow play of cut-out clouds. Aboard a roller coaster, I ride the space between the core of protons and the magnetic arc of the stars, and the waltzing gestures of birds pass through my torso like a soul called through a drum. And the dictations are chanting my name because I don't have one here, except I am a limpet and a snail and a blinking seal, a prince of kelp beds and briny shoals, tired from teasing grumpy old sturgeon in the riverbed. I am basking belly up in the rays of the sun. I am a fish flying light in the valley, nose diving into the crevasse of ancient glaciers, hidden in the small wrinkle of skin at the corner of your eye. Our bodies are not shelters, but open plazas of song, and music has not yet been invented. It is every sound of the stream, fingering its way to the shore, and the winter wind knocking over trees, and the sound of the planets before their wheels were greased to race around the solar light like crazed moths. And we are crashing into infinity at 1,000,000 miles an hour, awesome, breathtaking infinity. Behold, the ruby snake and the jaguar and the golden bear are already there, with several species of rainbow fish and single-celled beings, blue-green algae and plankton, and a family of viruses older than Earth. And we can become each other without fear again, because we are ever everything. We are breathing galaxies. Stars burn in our teeth, eyes, and hair. We want for nothing. Don't miss our old senses, dark portals to skyless rooms of initiation, where we hang onto cliffs like stubborn mountaineers on the final ascent to the apex where we began. Miracle is a beach washed by the Tethys Sea, sovereign of rainforests and rested eagles, where the amphibious wolf becomes a whale, where the universe unrolls like a living carpet, pushed by dung beetles and azure scarabs, a universe so thin you cannot enter with shoes or egos. It is the beginning of the blood kingdom, with fat green bugs and royal worms, and an orgy of extinct sensations, gulp of Basilosaurus, feathered nest egg of the squatting dodo, swarming delight of the passenger pigeon alighting on the verdant gates of this visionary arcade, where the planet's toastmaster awakes from soma sleep with dreams of afterlife already lived through, and he is slain, toasting saber-tooth and ararak, and revives again in my cells, umphalos, and tether to eternity. Simultaneously, the unanimous sensation of a weeping stone, a shuddering vine, and a mating cockroach, the taste of hot blood on wolf tongue like licorice ice cream and hop shoots or a hearty merengo. Later, around an open fire, in coves across the bay, golden horses gallop with eternal youth, the young gulls great awk freeze the wind, and sand flees bound joylessly into the flames without noticing. Yay, there's a piece which features singling. Do you want me to do one more, or should I do one more?
Yeah, definitely. I guess we were just like traveling in jungle with like all the imagery, all your description about animals, and like it was so perfect. We are like sitting in our rooms, but our mind is somewhere else. And the music, I think the music was working pretty well. Mm-hmm.
Was it? Good.
Yeah.
That's a first. You're witnessing the first ever live reading with singling as a background.
Wow.
So,
wow. We feel
we're beta testing this one too. So yeah, maybe I'll try something short here. Let's see how this one goes. Alas, to which the green cup of children runs to up a well and lands with a little foot, just like Wednesday's superstition. Our bottomless compass, lofty, locomotive. St. George sanctions signs in the delicate tail of an echo, hoists and waves a wanting by. Come, look at the small friend of safety, stranger dangling the idle meridian, his garrote. Alas, the sawhorse is hanging up its bridle. Where will we go when our poems are cold? Alack, great light forms not an end to labor, theft, deft, behind the limp of a bird. Remember, they fly toward the center of a V. Alas, to soak up every direction and rest uneasy. Detriment, scourge, homines sacre, to tender. Alas, too, the doggerel of everlasting beginners, stuck sideways on the magnet of a notion, today has won because it made us listen. Bearded with nubile darkness and the savage irritation of Polaris shining, all that is soiled to bed, a morbid Spanish dog feeds the chupacabra. Alack, all else is circumference, a telic memo, the overturned turtle of their first real passions. Alas, the last great yellow brick of Babel.